Before I even start talking about what CAPM exam is, how the exam is structured, what are the things you should do for the CAPM exam, how to learn, what all resources you use, what type of different questions you will get in CAPM exam, I want to tell you about my story actually. I did my computer science engineering degree a couple of years back, almost more than a decade back, and when I did it, I want to tell you why I actually took that computer science engineering. At that time, computer science was like very famous. My own sister, she did MCA, Masters of Computer Application, and like she was doing very good in her professional career life. So I saw that, hey, you know what, computers is the next big thing, and you need to get equipped with computer. You need to know and do computer science engineering. Okay. I did computer science engineering because she was doing great in her career. The moment I started my engineering degree and I took computer science, I had to do coding. And I was like, damn, this is not my cup of tea. I never enjoyed it. And even though I graduated also in computer science, but I did it. I think belonging from a teaching family, my father was a retired professor. I was good in studies. So I did better, I did good, and I passed my engineering exam. But my real interest was never in computer science. Then I got a job with Infosys where I was doing some customer support role, and I was not liking that as well. I always felt that I wanted to do something which is good for my career, or I wanted to do something which is of my interest to me. And that is where I moved my career from a coder or a developer, and that is like within 1 year I moved it to a business analyst kind of a role, and then into project management. And trust me, I love this role. This is one of the best things which have happened with me, because I like to talk to people, I like to communicate, and that's what project managers do. So if you need a direction in your life, in your career, and you don't like coding at all, or it doesn't matter, you are from software background or you are from construction background, you want to start your career into something which will give value to you, something which is important to you, hands down, go for a project management professional certification exam. Whether it is CAPM, whether it is PMP, I don't care. But go for a professional project management certification, because trust me, you would love it. You will get your hands dirty, and something you will be strong at, as compared to somebody like me who was doing the coding just because he did engineering in computer science. By the way, who am I? My name is Varun, and I am the founder and CEO of Edu Hotspot. It's a training institute which has changed life of thousands and thousands of people, given them direction how to make a career in project management. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the CAPM exam. Now, who does CAPM exam? If you are a new graduate, you don't have project management experience, or you have less than 3 years of project management experience, then people go for CAPM exam. If you are into that category, then this course is right for you. Now, CAPM exam is 150 questions to be solved in 3 hours, 180 minutes. You can give the exam from home, you can give the exam from center. Both have their own pros and cons, and I will be talking about it. But remember one thing, PMI will never tell you whether you have scored 60% or you have scored 80%. PMI will just tell you whether you have passed, congratulations, or failed, sorry, unfortunately you have to try again. So passing score is unknown. In order for you to pass the certification exam, I want to tell you a few things. First of all, keep in your mind that don't prepare for these certification PMP or CAPM just because they are very popular, everyone in the world is doing it. No, please don't do it because of that. Do these certifications to get a real practical learning out of it. Because if, let's say, your goal is that I want to start my career into project management, you will be going for an interview, right? If you are going for an interview, then if you don't know the basics of project management, then you will not be able to crack those interviews, right? So please make sure that you are learning this course from the mindset that I really want to learn something as compared to just passing the certification. Passing the certification will 101% happen. I am not denying that, but your real focus should be to learn something out of it. In my Edu HubSpot CAPM exam prep course, I will be giving you homeworks. I will be creating a step-by-step study plan for you, and we will be learning everything using a live project case study, where you will be managing a project, where you will be listening to a live project, where you will be understanding with day-to-day real life examples so that you can relate to it. And why I'm doing it with a real case study type of experience, because I know that when you are going for an interview, you will be able to crack it because now you have a real practical experience. So that's the whole thought process behind it. So make sure you are following all the videos, making notes on the complete structure. Now, let's try to see about the exam content outline, what CAPM exam is all about. So, in your CAPM exam, it is divided into 4 domains. Now, what are those 4 domains? First is your project management fundamentals and core concepts, where PMI talks about the basic terms and terminologies which are very popular in the project management industry. So 36% of your exam out of your 150 questions will come from your project management fundamentals. Then PMI has divided into the 3 different frameworks, which is your predictive framework, your agile framework, and your business analysis framework. They have specifically segregated all these frameworks differently because they want you to understand these 3 different, like most of the products still are using a predictive methodology. Many companies are moving towards agile, and finally many people, they start their career as a business analyst. Like I also kind of started my career as a business analyst, and now I am PMP, CAPM, PGMP, PFMP, like you name all these certifications, I have done all of these certifications as well. That's what it is. So they have divided into different domains, and each domain is more like, a broad level, high level knowledge area. Then under each domains, you have different tasks. Task is more like a responsibility of a project manager. What do you expect from a project manager to do in this particular domain? Then under each task, you have an enabler. Enabler is more like an example of how that task is done. Now, you can give the exam either from home or you can give the exam from center. Now, a home-based exam is basically go to a Pearson center, and how the exam experience is. Basically, first of all, make sure that you are not keeping anything on your table. You don't have any notes or anything on your front walls, on your back walls, on your side walls, because what they will do is PMI will check your complete surroundings using the webcam you have on your computer. Make sure you're not using your office laptop, because sometimes office laptop has firewalls, and your exam might get cancelled because of that. Your total number of questions are 150, and your exam is divided into 2 sets, 1 to 75 and then 76 to 150. So after question number 1 to 75, you will get a pop-up on your screen where they will ask you that do you want to review your questions or do you want to take a 10 minutes break. So if you, let's say you review the questions and then you take a break, when you come back, you will not be allowed to go back to your questions 1 to 75. So please make sure that you are reviewing it at that stage if you really want to. Typically, when you go through my complete course end to end, you really don't need to review anything, to be honest, because if you are reviewing it, this means the chances are very high that you are over-analyzing the situation. And if you are over-analyzing the situation, 90% of the time, your first instinct would be correct. But if you are deviating and over-analyzing, the chances are that you're going to the wrong answer choice. So I always recommend don't change the answer choices if you are reading it multiple times even, unless you are 100% certain about it. Then you will get different types of questions. I'm going to talk about the different types of questions you will get in the exam. I'm going to show it to you. You have an option to highlight the questions or the answer choices on your screen. And if you're giving it from home, you will get a whiteboard like a tool on the screen. You will get a inbuilt calculator on the screen which you can use, and you can get a whiteboard to do the mathematics questions. Typically these days I'm not seeing PMI putting more weightage on the mathematics questions, so really hardly anybody use the whiteboard, to be honest. Now if you are giving the exam from center, Everything else remains the same. Only difference is that instead of using the whiteboard, you get a physical like physical papers. Simple. You can use those physical papers, but when you move out of the exam center, you need to hand out those papers back to the proctor. If you, when you take a break, you will have to sign off, sign in, you know, when you come back. So that process, they will check you, make sure that you're not carrying anything. They'll give you earplugs, you know, if and the people who are sitting next to you, they might be giving some other certification exam, not necessarily your CAPM exam. They might be giving you some GRE exam or SAT exam. You don't know. So anything is possible, because Pearson is a provider for many of these professional institutes. Okay, now let's talk about the different types of questions you will get in the exam. First and the most common, or I would say most of your questions out of 150 would be single answer choice question. So they'll give you a question and they'll say select one answer choice out of 4. Most of these questions would be scenario based questions, which means you read a question and you find out that, hey, this answer is right or wrong or whatever. Use your elimination technique to make sure you eliminate the wrong choices and pick up the correct answer choice. Then the second type of questions you will get is drag and drop questions. So in drag and drop questions, what will happen is they'll give you two sides, left side, right side, and you will have to use your mouse to drag the answer choice in front of the right answer choice. So basically it's like a drag and drop question which you may get in the exam. Third type of questions which you may get in the exam is a hotspot question. Now, what is a hotspot question? They'll give you a diagram or a figure and you will have options A, B, C, D on the diagram itself, and you will have to read the question based on the diagram and find out that whether A is correct or B or C or D is correct. Like in this type of question, they will give you 4 options A, B, C, D, and they will say, okay, which particular answer choice is ahead of schedule or behind of schedule, and you need to select the answer choice on the image itself. Then the fourth type of question which you can get on the exam is your animation video or a comic strip. Now what does that means is like animation video. They'll give you animated video and you can start, stop, play this video multiple times if you need to, and then you will have to select one answer choice out of A, B, C, D. Similarly, you may have a comic strip, like they would have explained a scenario in a comic strip way, and you will have to select the answer choice between A, B, C and D. So these are the type of questions you may get in the exam. So CAPM exam is a standardized test. Now what do I mean by standardized test? Standardized test mean it's not a computer adaptive test. Let me explain you what a computer adaptive is. It will be much easier for you to understand what a standardized test is. A computer adaptive test is, let's say you did question number 1 and you got it right. The next question will be slightly tougher than the question number 1. Let's say you got question 2 also correct. Then the third question will be more tougher than question number 2. So the difficulty level increases if you get question right. If you get question wrong, the difficulty level decreases. So that's your computer adaptive test. But CAPM is your standardized test. It doesn't matter whether you're getting questions right or wrong. Questions will remain same. Somebody giving the exam in one country as compared to somebody else giving the exam in another will get different type of questions, but the kind of difficulty level will be same on that. Okay, now let's talk about what does exam test and what does exam does not test you. Now first of all, this exam is not about memorization. Let me put it like that. I would never ask you to memorize a single thing throughout this course. Simple as that, plain and fact. And PMI also doesn't expect you to memorize anything. Yes, if you talk about the formulas, I can ask you that yes, formulas, you should know the formulas, but it's really not that necessary if you ask me personally. Then, if let's say you are from one particular industry type, they will never ask you a industry type specific question. Let's say you are into information technology industry or you are into construction industry. They will never ask you specific question to your industry, because CAPM exam is given by so many people across the world and everybody has can be from different industries, right? So they don't want to favor one industry type over the other. It will not test your common sense. Please don't use your common sense. There is a way of following the process. Wear your PMI hat, which I said in the beginning of this video. Please don't use your common sense. If you are an MBA, whatever you have learned in your management school, forget about it. This is not about the management school. This is about the CAPM exam. If you have used any tool, if you have learned any tool, like for example, I teach Microsoft project course also. So a lot of people have done that course from me. So if you are an expert in Microsoft project, you will not get it. It will help you in schedule management when we talk about that, but not necessarily. You really don't really need to use any tool for this course. Then finally, it will not test your analytical skill. You will not get any analytical questions. Instead, you will get mostly scenario based questions. Now let's talk about what are the things which this test will actually test you. First of all, it will test your on-job project management experience. Like they really want you to know about, what you are learning, what you are doing, how you are managing your projects day to day. So it's more about, scenario-based questions. As I said, if you are a fresh graduate, if you don't have it, that's absolutely fine. They know that. So the scenarios would not be that tricky. Your understanding of the project management fundamentals and core concepts, yes, they want you to know the basic terms and terminologies which are being used, and I don't want you to worry about it because in fact, when I'm starting the case study, before starting the case study, I will first talk about the basic terms and terminologies in the beginning so that you understand that project management jargon in the beginning. So everything is structured like that. Then your ability to apply the experience to different scenarios, absolutely. As I said, this exam would be scenario based questions, so they really want you to apply your experience on these different types of scenarios, how they would be asking you questions. Your understanding about the predictive, adaptive approaches, business analysis approaches, because in fact that's your 3 domains, right? So they want you to have a basic understanding of both predictive world, agile world, and the business analysis world. Then your understanding of PMI code of ethics. Yes, I have recorded a specific video just on the code of ethics, the do's and don'ts, what you should do, what you should not do, how you can be ethical, and about the code of ethics. So we have talked about this. Your understanding of different project management roles, very important. There are different types of project management roles. So in fact, in the terminology section, the first introduction section, we are talking about the different roles, project management roles we have. So that will also be tested by PMI. Now, what is the requirement in order for you to sit for the CAPM exam? First of all, if you have a secondary degree, if you have a secondary like a high school diploma, all you need is a 23 hours of project management education. How you can get that 23 hours of project management education? If you are doing or edu HubSpot CAPM exam prep course, this exam prep course will give you those 23 hours of project management education. This will make you eligible for that, and once you get the certificate from us, then you go to PMI's website, you submit your application, show them that edu, you got 23 hours of project management education from edu HubSpot, which is an authorized training partner of PMI, and PMI already knows our information. They have our ID, and they will see that you have taken the course from a legitimate company, an approved partner of them. And if everything looks good, they will approve your application. And I think within 24 hours, your application will be approved, or you will get a notification whether it has been audited or not. And that's it. If everything looks good, go through this course, practice the questions. Boom, go and give the CAPM exam, and don't forget to share your success with me. Send me an email, send an email to my team, or you can actually reach out to me also at varun.anand@eduhubspot.com, and I'm 100% certain that by the end of this course, you will not just pass the exam. That is the minimum I'm guaranteeing you. You will actually learn in and out of how project management is done, the practical side of project management, because my goal is to make sure that you are able to crack those interviews if you are planning to move into a project management career. So I hope you liked our basic introduction course. Please don't forget to like and subscribe this video, comment on this video on YouTube, and move to the next video where we are starting the exam structure. Next video is actually about how our course is structured so that you can get a basic idea, and then moving forward, we'll start with introduction, then we'll start with how a project life cycle works, like starting from initiation to planning to executing to monitoring control to closing. And then we will do a lot of questions throughout. We'll follow that case study which I will be talking about, and that too a real case study, a simple or real life day-to-day examples, and I'm pretty sure you would love it. So I'm gonna see you in the next video.